Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be looking at a specialty technique. It is a hybrid fast, but using intermittent fasting and a rolling 72 cycle. Let's get into it. So the theme of the month, at least, is weight loss. We're looking to help you all develop new tools that you can use for safe, effective weight loss, highlighting no loose skin, and also the ability to get off medications and just feel better. With that being said, I wanted to come up with a new technique that combines two of the most popular fasting techniques right now, which is the R72. This is a technique that I started talking about on the channel about a year and a half ago, where you're basically going to be fasting for a 3-day period of time with refeeds coming right after that 3-day cycle. So you're going to fast for 3 days. You're going to refeed for a day or 24 hours. After the refeed, you're going to go back into a 3-day fast. Now, typically, when we do the R72, we're going to be doing pure water fasting the entire time. So you're doing pure water fasting for 72 hours. Previously, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago now, I talked about hybrid fasting. And the benefit of hybrid fasting is allowing you to take different fasting techniques, combine them to give you a specific outcome. And since we're focused on weight loss, and since we're focused on doing it efficiently and getting really amazing results that are sustainable, then I wanted to couple the R72 with intermittent fasting, which is probably the most popular fasting technique out. I mentioned on a few different videos that I'm not a huge fan of small intermittent fasting windows. So this is where you would fast for, let's say, 12 hours a day or even 16 hours a day. I like fasting for 18 hours a day or more for kind of optimal results. So as you guys are looking to combine your R72 technique with an intermittent fasting schedule, I would recommend probably not even doing it if you're going to make your eating window too big. So you want your eating window to be anywhere from 4 hours to 6 hours max, okay? And you can also practice, one meal a day with this as well. But for these purposes, we're going to be looking at a 4-hour eating window, right? And we're going to couple it with a rolling fasting cycle. So the way this all fits together is, let's say on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, those are the days that you're going to be fasting. You would practice intermittent fasting for that day. So you're not going to eat breakfast. That means that the first 4 to 5 hours that you are awake, you're not going to consume anything. The most you can have is some water, maybe some water with lemon in it. Around noontime is going to be my suggestion to eat your largest meal. So if you're going to have a window of 4 hours, you can have your first meal around noontime, and then you can have your second meal maybe when you get home from work or whatever that might look like. I'm going to highly recommend you eat your largest meal closer to noon or closer to midday and eat a small meal in the evening, right? And make sure to keep your window tight. You've got 4 hours. You can eat within that time frame, but don't snack in between your meals. Make sure that you're sitting down and you're having an actual meal. Don't have more than 2 meals during this intermittent fasting time, and then push your heavier meal earlier in the day. So that's the basis, the fundamental of this exercise. In addition to that, it's always important that you hydrate well. So you're going to want to be looking to achieve at least a gallon of water a day. Make sure that as you're drinking this water, you're never drinking more than 16 ounces per hour. Okay, these are all of this is very important, and the reason why this is very important is because when you're doing a fasting cycle like this, it is a very easy fasting cycle. Okay, this is a very easy fasting cycle. So in order for you to get the benefit that you want to get out of it, you have to be very regimented. If you're not, your benefits are going to fade off very quickly. So just follow this outline as closely as possible, and you're going to see results that you can quantify. On the days that you eat, it's going to be important that you're eating raw food. Okay, so come up with a dish. Find several dishes. maybe find 5 really simple raw dishes, especially if you're not used to cooking raw, or if you believe there's like raw food is not good or whatever. There's a negative connotation associated with raw food. Take the time to find 5 raw dishes that you really enjoy, and then just cycle them, right? Every 3 days, you're going to break from your intermittent fasting schedule. You're going to eat raw, and then you could use one of those 5 dishes that you actually enjoy. So take your time, find some dishes that you actually enjoy, and then you're going to go back into your fasting cycle, your 3 days of fasting. It's still going to allow you to eat those 3 days, obviously, but you're going to be eating very specifically. If you guys want to take this to the next level, during the times when you are eating on your fasting days, you can add a raw meal to it. So what I would highly suggest is you're doing your 3 days of intermittent fasting. For your second meal, which is definitely going to be one of the smaller meals. It's kind of like, I don't want to call it a snack, but it's not going to be it's not your main meal, right? You can do a raw meal. You could add a raw meal to that, or at the very least, if you exclude meat, dairy products, processed foods, refined sugars from your second meal, okay? If you have it in your first meal, all right. But if you exclude it from your second meal and you're not snacking in between, you're just drinking water during this time, you still will see results. This type of technique, this type of hybrid technique is going to be very easy to do, okay? You're not going to deal with a ton of hunger. You're not going to deal with a ton of detox symptoms. It's going to be very easy to do. It should give your body ample time to adapt. And then when you feel ready, you can increase the intensity of this fasting schedule very easily. One other tip that I want to give you guys, it's really good to clean the bowels when you do something like this. You want to open up the elimination pathways. You want to cleanse the bowels. Now, the water is going to hydrate the intestinal tract. That's the reason why we want to be drinking water. We got to hydrate the intestinal tract. So as you start fasting, you're eliminating well. You should see better digestion from this. You should see better elimination from doing this. There's a couple different ways that you can boost the benefit that you're getting in the way of, eliminating. And I would recommend either, number one, scheduling a colonic. You could schedule a colonic before you start this process, and maybe a week or even a week and a half after you've started this process. So you could do 2 within maybe about a 2-week period of time. That's one way. Same thing with an enema. You can replace the colonic for the enema. Another way is you can get yourself some Restore, okay? I would actually recommend getting Restore and the Relife Greens. So most of you are familiar with the Root brand by now that we're affiliated with. We've been working with them for well over a year. We get amazing testimonials. Just got one today, as a matter of fact. But if you guys get yourself some Restore and or the Relife Greens, both of those help with nourishing the microgut biome, opening up elimination pathways, and encouraging elimination. So as you are doing this, if you add those supplements to this process, it's going to help encourage weight loss, okay? So this is going to allow you even more leeway as it relates to what you eat, and maybe not being completely perfect, and still encourage those benefits that you want to see. The last thing that I would suggest, and once again, these are all independent suggestions. You guys can do them together if you want, or you could do them separate. You could choose one, whichever one resonates. But another option would be to get yourself either some hexane-free castor oil and or some food-grade Epsom salt. All of these have similar benefits, which is cleansing the bowels. They work a little bit different, and they also can, you can stack them and you can work together. But if you're going to do the hexane-free castor oil, I highly recommend that you only do it once or twice. You don't want to be doing that every day. Same thing with the Epsom salt. If you use that as your option, these would not be daily supplements. This would just be maybe, at the beginning of your cycles, when you very first start, you could do it. And then you could also do it after like the first week. And you can kind of do it like once a week. You don't want to be doing these things every day. But instructions for how to use the Epsom salt should be on the package. Typically, a tablespoon going in about 24 ounces of water should be sufficient. And then with the castor oil, you could take anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon. I recommend starting with a teaspoon. Let it kind of rest, see how your body responds, and then you could take another teaspoon if you're not getting a response. But it should cause, these are both laxatives, so it should cause you to have bowel movements. So, try to take it in the evening, maybe after work when you know you're gonna be close to a bathroom, or when you're not going to be as active. Do your best to take it when you know you're gonna be close to a bathroom. We do have a community that we started outside of Facebook. A lot of people don't use Facebook, so we have our own community that we host. It is going to be on ahacommunities.com. I highly recommend that you guys join us. We've got over 2,000 people in there. We're actively engaging. We are currently doing our R72 program. It's likely to be closed by the time that you guys hear this video, but we are going to be doing them throughout the year, so you could be encouraged to join us. So I would say come and join us on AHA Communities and be a part of the community. Communities. All right, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe. And as always, the application of knowledge is power. And I will see you all next time.